Curious about what EFT Tapping Technique is all about? I'm going to share with you what it is, how it can help you live a better life. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I post a new video. Now, I've been using EFT tapping since 2014 for my abundance and prosperity goals, but also for my emotional eating and cravings and getting pregnant at age 44. Through EFT tapping, I lost 45 pounds without dieting or daily weigh-ins and kept it off. And even after delivering my baby at age 45, I lost 60 post-pregnancy pounds in about 5 months, again without going on any diet because of tapping. I also help women kick their cravings and stop their emotional eating using EFT tapping to help them finally lose the obsessive thoughts around food and lose the weight without dieting once and for all. So what in the world is EFT tapping? Well, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. And we tap gently on meridian points, mostly around our face. And it's really easy and a powerful technique to learn in just a few minutes and use whenever you need it. In other words, it's an energy technique using a few acupressure points that releases negative emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and patterns quickly. Got a phobia? Tap on it. Overeating when stressed? Tap on it. Super upset about an ex cheating on you? First, know it's their loss because you're amazing, but tap on it. Looking for a better job, more income? Tap on it. EFT tapping works. It's even been proven with scientific research. There's no hoping that this technique is going to work for you. EFT works, and it is so powerful, it's even being used to treat PTSD for war veterans. Now, this technique was first discovered back in the 1980s by Dr. Roger Callahan. He worked with many patients who had major fears and phobias. He did extensive training, not just in the psychiatry world, but he also studied the meridians found within our body and how different acupressure points affected various organs. Now, he had a client with a deep fear of water, but in one of their lessons, she said, my stomach's kind of hurting. So because of his knowledge of all the acupressure points, he knew there was a point under the eye directly linked to the stomach. So to ease her pain with her stomach, he instructed her to tap under her eye. Now, while she was tapping, they were discussing her fear of water. And then within minutes, the stomach pain was gone, and so was the fear of water. Now, the story goes, she immediately went outside to the pool and started splashing her face with water, which her phobia would never have allowed her to do before. Now, with this information, Dr. Callahan began working out a tapping algorithm to use with his patients to have more consistent results. So next came along Gary Craig, who didn't have any experience with psychiatry, but he was very intrigued by this information, and he began studying Dr. Callahan's work. Using his engineering background, he created his own algorithm to help anybody do this technique without consulting a doctor. That work brought about EFT, or tapping, that we know today. Now, Gary Craig concluded that all the body's energy systems are connected. And if you think about the body's energy system like a big, complex, electrical, negative emotions, sadness, rage, guilt, depression, obsessions, these are all disruptions in our circuit system. These negative energies cut off the flow within the circuit system. The use of tapping can remove those disruptions and get the circuit system running smoothly again, and your energy system gets corrected. Energy disruptions in our body are the reason we have any emotional outcomes like grief, anger, guilt, depression, trauma, fear. Negative emotions come about because we are tuned into certain thoughts or circumstances, which in turn causes our energy systems to be disrupted. Otherwise, we would function normally. Acupuncturists study over 300 meridian points where tapping just uses a few. Tapping differs in that no formal training is really required to realign your disruptions of your energy system on your own. Using this technique involves 8 to 12 meridians, and that's all that's needed to correct any disruptions. To release the blocks, you physically tap on specific points along your energy meridians to balance and restore the energy flow. Now, Tapping on these points alone will not restore your energy system. The other piece of the recipe is your mind. The key ingredient to releasing your stuck energies is what you're tuned into, what you're focusing on while you tap. The intention you set during your tapping is what's going to be released and create the balance in your energy flow. So how do you personally transform using tapping? Well, during the tapping process, information moves from our subconscious to our conscious awareness. Now, if you're not clear on what I mean by your subconscious and conscious minds, just check out this video here to learn more. Now, getting back to what happens during tapping. It's our emotions that are linked to our subconscious that leads to our blocked energy or our energy disruption. The tapping releases the blocks and smooths out the energy disruption. I'm sure you've experienced a dramatic event and found it loaded with strong emotions and judgments. And during these times, there may be feelings of overwhelm and maybe you've experienced, developing unhealthy ways to cope with difficult emotions like overeating when stressed or lonely, or maybe you just ignore your feelings and then they get buried deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind. This avoidance of our emotions closes off the opportunities to release because we're not acknowledging them. This makes it more difficult to release the stress that we're having. This energy disruption short circuits our own electrical system. Now, by tapping on that negative emotion or that stressor with intention, which I stated earlier was the key ingredient to allow us to acknowledge your emotions, address them, and release them so you can go about your day feeling calm and burden free, like literally a weight lifted off your shoulder. It's quite amazing. Now, I was introduced to tapping early on in my transformational journey when I was doing a lot of attraction techniques. I initially thought when I first was learning of it, it seemed a bit silly. I mean, I felt weird like tapping. I wasn't even sure what to tap on when I learned about it. So I picked a childhood phobia that still lingered as an adult. I had an extreme strong phobia of snakes. So I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. It'd be nice not to have a fear of snakes any longer. Look, I had no traumatic event as a child involving snakes. I just never liked them. I didn't like looking at them. I didn't like seeing any pictures of them or seeing them on TV. Like when I was a kid, back in the day, using an encyclopedia to do research, it'd inevitably be some giant picture of a snake under any letter of the alphabet in those books. So when I saw the snake in there, I literally would chuck the book across the room to get away from it. But that fear was strong and it still remained in my adulthood. And I never thought about getting help for it because, snakes aren't really in my daily life. So using this fear was my first experience of the EFT tapping, and it really works. Now, obviously at this point, I was not a tapping expert. I was just learning, but wow, it worked. My crazy reactions to snakes were gone. If I see a snake, I'm not going to go out and get a pet snake or anything like that, but I'm no longer frantically trying to find the remote to change the channel or closing my eyes because there's a snake. I don't throw books across the room if there's a picture of a snake. If a friend called and said they had a snake in their house and needed help, I could help them. Call 911. No, just kidding. I would actually help them. Now, if my novice self can tap on my fear of snakes, really think about what you can do. Do you have a negative emotion, a fear, or a phobia you'd like to remove? If so, what is it? Put it in the comment section below. Now, emotional freedom technique tapping can help clear the fears, the phobias, the negative emotions, addictions, illnesses, injuries, anxiety, and cravings. It can also be used for positivity, like creating more happiness, spirituality, being more connected. Tapping for spirituality can lead to a new insight or an aha moment to get you clear on a life decision. I've used it to clear blocks for things like ranging from procrastination about taking action to help bring up big new ideas that are in my unconscious and subconscious minds and discover how I can make any of those things happen. As you begin to bring this tool into your life, you'll discover the ways it works best for you. Ready to start tapping? Download my free EFT starter guide in the link below. It has all you need to get started, the basics, all the tapping points, how to set up your tapping scripts so you can get after all of your life goals. So how exactly do we tap? Be sure to check out this video next on how to do tapping so you can begin transforming your life today. You can find the link below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video.